Welcome to my channel Living Librarian. I'm your host Dave. I'll be sharing knowledge about consciousness, spirituality, and life. Stay tuned.
The Awakening, Keeping It Real, Chapter 1 by Maria Chambers. Podcast. What I am about to share with you may take you by surprise or not. It really depends on where you are relative to your Ascension, embodied Enlightenment process. If you're at the early stages, you may be feeling blissed out, like now your life is going to be so much easier. It's the stage where you begin to discover that there is so much more to life than just being a human going through the motions. You may have been led to a book or website that talks about awakening and spiritual enlightenment. Maybe it was Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts or a Cryon book by Lee Carroll. Of course, if you're old enough to remember reading books, you're likely to be at the later stages of your awakening. In the early stages, you may get distracted by things like crystals and magnetic bracelets used for healing, tarot cards, sweat lodges, or conspiracy theories such as extraterrestrials are coming to save us and the planet. You may be involved in the New Age, social, political, or environmental activism, meditation practices, or animal rights. You may feel as if you have found a new purpose in life. All very appropriate. But then things begin to fall apart in your life. You go through what is called the dark night of the soul. You may lose people close to you, your job, or your health may begin to fail. You become sensitive to things that never bothered you before, both physically and emotionally. You begin to open up and sense energies of people around you. Because of these sensitivities, you may find yourself needing more time alone. Again, all very appropriate. Going within is a vital part of awakening to yourself and your soul. You begin to realize that you are here for very different reasons than others. You have a deep wisdom that goes well beyond your human self. You don't realize at this point that the emotional, physical, and mental problems you have been going through you have embodied on behalf of humanity. Others in your life may not understand what you are going through and can become very judgmental toward you. In fact, you may begin to believe you need to see a psychologist to work out your issues. Many people at this stage will go on medications such as antidepressants. But this process isn't about shutting off emotions. Not at all. It's about allowing all of the emotions full range. Even emotions of sadness and anger. The awakening and ascension process is a natural process. Every human will go through it at some point, if not this lifetime, then in another. But there is a special group called Shambra who decided they wanted this lifetime to be the one in which they have their realization. They didn't want to go through several more lifetimes, but wanted to accelerate their own ascension and make this their last lifetime on Earth. They are the first to go through their awakening and ascension as a group. They chose this particular time in the planet's history to incarnate because it was the time of technology, the information age. It's an important time in which consciousness is needed to be infused into AI. Technology especially. Because without that consciousness, this kind of technology could destroy the planet. Bringing consciousness in at this time would ensure artificial intelligence is used for the right reasons and not to move humans further away from their own creativity and their own soul. Because you and your soul are now merging in a way that has never been done before, you will find that you are taking on many of your soul's sensitivities to energies. You are not only feeling things through your human senses, but you are feeling it through your soul. This can be an exciting and wonderful experience, but it can also be very difficult and distracting, at least initially, until your body and soul become more comfortable with one another. What is happening is you are integrating your light body or your soul's vehicle. Your light body is your natural body. Your physical, biological body system is changing. The usual way of communicating with the cells is now shifting. Your very DNA is changing. It's not necessary to understand the minutiae of this process, but just to be aware that it is a natural process. The word allow will be used often in my writing, because it is all about just allowing this natural process to take place. You begin to feel music like never before. The taste and smell of food is heightened. Personally, I find deep sensuality in music. But also, certain perfumes or disinfectants and other environmental smells are very uncomfortable to me. So it can feel like both a blessing and a curse. As you spend more time alone, you realize that you don't feel lonely. You feel angels and other beings around you. The dark night of the soul begins to lift. But there are still many challenges ahead as you go through this process. Chapter 2 coming soon. In Chapter 2, we will discuss things such as Lemuria, Atlantis, the Mystery Schools, the Crimson Circle, Heaven's Cross, and some of my personal experiences in my own ascension process. We will also cover more symptoms and the later stages of ascension and embodied enlightenment. I also invite you to ask any questions in the comments section you may have relative to the awakening process, and I will do my best to answer them in the next chapter. A personal message from Maria Chambers. Thank you so much for taking the time to read my blog post. Your support and encouragement mean a lot to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. I am grateful for your presence. Thank you for being part of my journey. By Maria Chambers.